All right, so we back with another Kendra G video, and we still looking at the potential pookies. So this episode says, once married, father to 5 kids, prefers a woman with no kids. His next wife won't meet his kids. All right, let's go ahead and see what they talking about.
Hold on, Miss Kendra?
It's me.
Hey, Miss Kendra.
Hey, hey,
How are
you.
you?
Good. My ring light's about to lean. What's your name, love?
My name is Donell. I was here before.
You here for
I
an
think I was a
update?
highlight man.
Are you here for an update?
No, kind of, sort of, but I'm here looking for love again. The first time was a scrap. I had to throw it up, throw the whole package away. Like,
What was wrong with the first time?
it was a lot of women, but it was like a lot of older females.
Oh, and they were too old for you?
Most definitely, and it was catfishing.
Oh, they
Definitely
were
catfishing.
catfishing. What's catfishing mean? They didn't like their pictures?
Meaning they sent me pictures of them younger, and when I met them in person, they were like built totally different. Yeah,
Ooh, they sent you younger pictures. That's funny. Um,
that's messed up though.
it is messed up. That's why you should be FaceTiming before you meet somebody in person.
I don't. You know what? I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android. But yeah, so
Okay. Donnell, and where you calling us from?
from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York. How old are you?
I am 36 years old.
36. What you do for a living, Donnell?
So far, he's pretty, chill. He's pretty, he ain't really saying too much. One thing I will say is he don't have an iPhone, but you can get on social media. You can FaceTime there's many ways to FaceTime. So, you know, it's not really much to say about him, but let's go ahead and continue to see what he's talking about.
I work for a fine arts company in Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Fine arts. And what's your zodiac sign?
Aries.
Aries. Do you have any children?
I have 5. Listen, before you say something crazy, I know what you're thinking, but I have 4 from my ex-wife, so that's what happened. We were
What do you
together
think
for
I'm
seven and
thinking?
a half.
What do you think I'm
Like he
thinking?
got 5 baby mamas, and he from Brooklyn, and he black, and like I could just picture what you're thinking, the bubbles in your head. Like
I'm
he
gonna.
might be a pookie.
Oh,
Okay,
we finna
so
find
so
out.
four of you was once married.
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you get divorced?
Maybe like a year or two after we broke up, that which was 2019.
Okay. And you have one child by somebody else.
Yes, my
Okay.
oldest
What's your?
child. Yes.
So what is How old are your kids?
15, 8, 7, 4, 5, 3, and yeah, that's my
Wait,
other
wait,
4
wait.
kids.
So do it again.
My oldest is 15. My last 4 are 8, 7, 4, and 3.
Well, now this is why you got a certain type of quality of woman that reached out to you.
Uh-huh.
I mean, let me just say this because I think, and I say this all the time, we all women get dissected so much from my show. You're not a bad looking man, Donnell. So I'll give you attraction points. But there's
Thank
certain
you.
women, regardless of how attracted a man is, 5 kids, granted 4 by your ex-wife. I mean, these ages are young, 15, 8, 7, 4, 3. Um, that that for some women of a certain type of caliber just might be a turn on. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm not trying to bash you. Donnell, Brooklyn, New York, 36, Aries, works in fine arts, 5 kids was one.
Now, I like the way Kendra let it be known. She was sweet about it. Usually she go hard on the sweet, the people who come in with some sense, but today she's being nice to him. So, but that is true. We already know that his next wife is not gonna meet his kids from the title. So let's go ahead and get into that because that's crazy to me.
Once married, 2 women. What kind of woman are you looking for now? Oh wait, how old are you? 36. What kind of woman are you looking for now?
Just a peaceful woman, like a woman that Wants to be a helpmate. Like she's not looking to just suck me dry as far as financial wise, my energy, my love. She wants to give me equal. So if something happens, if we happen to break up, we both equally gave our all.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Ah, crazy baby daddies, loud, ratchet, and twerkers. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Twerkers.
Can't do
Okay.
Wait, what? No loud ratchet twerkers?
it. Nope. Don't like it.
Okay. Okay. Does she have to look a certain way?
Oh yeah. I take an average looking female, as long as she got a good heart and she's a good person for sure.
Okay. What about money? Does she gotta make a certain amount of money?
No. As long as she can sustain herself without me, like if we break up, she's gonna be just fine. I'm cool with that.
Now, I will say he isn't coming off as a pookie, okay? The fact that he was married to his last baby mama and they had 4 kids together, it sucks that they weren't able to work it out, but he doesn't seem, it's not giving pookie energy. I know the last video y'all was telling me the last person was a pookie, which I didn't think he was, but y'all tell me if you think he's a pookie. But let's continue to listen to what he's talking about. But I do like him. He came on. He's very, chill. He's very, he ain't doing too much. He just on here trying to find a woman. He didn't bash, the last set of women. He did say that they look a little bit different than their pictures that they gave. But other than that, he cool.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Oh, he look a little short.
Okay. We see you. One of the cousins told me to ask you about your divorce. Why did you get divorced? And they want to know about the youngest child.
My daughter is 3, by the way. You know what it was? She is a modern female. When I met her, she was 21. I was 25. And I guess she wanted to have girls trips, go out and have fun and live her life. I get that. Cool. But don't do that at the behest of our family. You could have been saying that from the beginning. So, but 7 years is a long time. It's almost a decade. So I get it. You want to be free, go be free. I'm not holding nobody hostage. But
That
just
was
know
your
I was
wife. Talk
fighting.
about your wife.
But how can she be free with 4 kids? How can she be free? I don't think she can be that free. But if you were a little understanding, like I understand what's been going around on the internet, y'all don't want women to go on girls' trips and what happens with this, what happens with that. But with her settling down young, it has to be some type of understanding that she still wants to live her life. She still wants to, you know, have certain experiences. So I don't know about that.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes. We was together for 7.5 years. We have 4 kids together, and I can't hold her hostage. You want to leave? You want to go have fun? Go have girl trips and pop your booty around. God bless you. I'm not gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate you, but just know, like,
Oh,
it is
she
what it
was a
is.
twerker.
I feel like she was always pregnant if y'all were together for 7 years and you have 4 kids.
I know, but they were times, but in between those that when she was pregnant, because remember, most of our kids were either 2 or 3 years apart.
Okay.
So she did have time where she was not pregnant. So she was more wholesome and more motherly, more wifely like in the beginning.
What men have to understand is sometimes you lose yourself during a pregnancy. So for her to have pregnancies back to back to back, like it may take her a year to get back to where she's fully feeling like herself. So I don't know about that. It seemed like it's script and it beat.
But things just happen, and I can't be upset about it. It just like so much time was wasted. So I don't want to do that all over again.
Okay. And then you had a baby as soon as you got divorced?
No, we had our last baby before we got divorced in
But you
2019.
have
I
a
said
baby
my
by
daughter's 3.
somebody else.
No, that was my firstborn. My firstborn child was born in 2008. That was like
Oh,
that's my
got you,
son.
got you, got you. I get it now. I get it now. So your
Yeah.
oldest child is by somebody else.
Yes. Yes.
Fair enough. Thank you for the explanation. Okay, we got it. All right. When was your last relationship?
Uh, 4 years ago.
4 years ago. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I'm an honest man. I would say July, August.
July, August. Okay. Why? Three flaws you have to work on.
Uh, Probably stop being so shy for one,
He
and
seems a
for
little
two,
shy.
just be able to understand like everybody you want to be with don't want to be with you.
Hmm.
And three, just just learn how to sometimes toughen up. When I'm talking to a woman like this, because some women want to see that part of you. I don't want to show that side because that's not who I am. But some women like to see, oh, he gonna be somebody for me, girl, because he's super strong. So
What I will say is, I mean, I guess he's being honest about the flaws that he needs to work on. Um, so I actually don't have nothing to say about that. But he seems like a nice guy. He seems like a nice guy.
some females do like to see the guy that's like he's strong all the time.
Okay, fair enough. And you don't want that.
No, I'm human. I have points of weakness, so of course not.
Absolutely, I get it. What is the age range you would date, Donnell?
Uh, I would say 25 to 38.
25 to 38.
Uh-huh.
25 to 38. Okay. Do you want more kids?
No.
So a woman should already have kids.
Um, I don't want a female that has kids because it's a messy subject and topic, but if she wanted one, I would give her one. Just to be fair, like
You
to her,
don't
so
want a
she could
female that got kids and you got 5 kids.
because there's a different dynamic to men having kids and a female having kids. I had to deal with other men dealing with her because those are the fathers might be in the picture.
Why
As
are
a
women?
woman,
Why are men so Now this is a delusional moment for men. Okay, you
hmm
have 5 kids. 15,
hmm
8, 7, 4, and 3. You have young children. Now, any woman that I think you would take serious, you would want her to love on your children. You would want her to accept your children. You have young children too. And you are sitting up here saying, love on my 5 kids, but don't come with a child yourself.
I'm not saying that.
You
Anyone
say you
I
want a woman with
dated,
no kids?
yes, but anyone I date won't even meet my kids because I know what that
Oh, so you don't
brings.
want to you don't want to get married again then?
No, I want to get married again, but I
So if you
don't
get
want.
married again, the woman has to accept your kids.
It's more simpler than that, Kendra. Meaning that I don't want a female to meet my kids until they of age, like they all teenage age, even if we get married or not,
Okay.
because I
So
know what
how
it
you gonna
means
do
to.
Christmas? So you gonna do Christmas with your wife and then you're a separate one with your kids? You're gonna go on holidays, you're gonna go to graduations without your wife and she's gonna stay at home. Are you really thinking about this in a realistic manner? There's no way you can marry a I mean, I don't know, I'm asking. How are you gonna marry a woman?
It's very unrealistic. It's very unrealistic. I know that's the ideal situation he would like, but it's really unrealistic to get married again and then think that this person is never going to meet your kids. It's honestly crazy.
Woman and separate your 5 children until they're teenagers. You have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. That's 10 more years. So you're gonna be married to a woman for 10 years and she never meets your kids.
Because out of respect, I would explain to her that I don't want my kids to meet you and fall in love with you as a stepmom, and we break up and my kids are heartbroken. So I prefer that we date because I'm gonna be.
So you don't have the ability to pick your women properly. Because if you were with the right woman and you guys end up taking that next step to get married, then that wouldn't even be a question. I know stuff happens, but for you to take the step to marry someone, then to say that you don't want your kids to get hurt, that's crazy. He sound like he been hurt too much. Or he sound, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it.
Be honest. I'm a single. I was born by a single mother, right? My mother dated several men after my dad, right? And I never seen one man in and out the house. I know she dated, but I never seen a man in and out my mom's house. So I live by the same token. I don't want my kids to fall in love with a person, with a female, and then we break up and my kids are hurt.
But did your mom get married though? Did your mom have a family? Did your mom, like, she may have had boyfriends, but because I used to be a single mom, and at that time, wasn't nobody meeting my son until it was a serious situation. So I understand that. But you're going to get married to someone.
Like, daddy, where's such and such? Where did she go? That's the part you gotta think about being a parent.
I mean, but you gotta think. You have to think. Okay, you came on here and said you don't want a twerking girl, you don't want a ratchet girl. Those things are turned off, rightfully so. So I'm assuming you want a stand-up woman. And a
Hmm.
stand-up woman, I can imagine her being okay because you said teenage years. Again, you have a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old. First of all, you have kids. Life can happen. This woman, you and this woman can have plans, and one of your kids gets sick. You're gonna have to go tend to your kids. I think you're not being realistic on the type of woman you say you want and how she will have to adjust for you and your children. And then you're not being realistic of how you can be a husband to this woman, but then keep your kids truly separated.
Honestly, I feel like he can find a woman who's like, yeah, I want him all to myself. I don't want to even worry about the kids. I'm sure it's a woman out there like that will be interested in this type of situation because I don't know personally, but I've heard stories to where the women don't want to deal with the other kids, and it's a sad situation, but it's not built for everybody. So I'm sure he could find somebody who's willing to sign up for this, but it really is unrealistic.
Doesn't make sense.
It does make sense because that you have to think about this, right? As a parent, woman or man, your first priority is your children. The person that
Baby,
loves you,
baby, baby,
respects you
baby,
enough.
baby. I get all that, but when you become a husband, your wife is supposed to become first. This is where everything is unaligned because when you already have children, rightfully so, your children are most important to you. But when you become a husband, your wife is supposed to trump everything. So you are just not being realistic about the type of woman you say you want and then how you want her to act as your wife. And you are literally telling us that you will marry a woman, but she can't meet your kids until they're teenagers. You have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, so that's 10 more years. You need to really think about that in a realistic manner. How the hell could you marry someone 2 years from now and literally keep your kids separated from this woman for 8 years?
You got a point, Kendra.
Because I've dated women before where things have got serious, and they met my kids. But when things don't work out, it's hard to tell your children as a father, well, daddy, where's such and such? Well, baby, things didn't work out, but God bless her. I hope she's
But was
having a
she
wonderful
your
life.
wife?
Kids ask questions,
But were they
No,
your
no,
and it's a
no.
hard.
wife?
Listen, I am here with you on the attachment to the women. So I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that is just your reality. You come with 5 kids. So as you are dating, like I said, you say you don't want no ratchet, you don't want a ratchet woman. Well, a classy woman is gonna think about that. That's why I said in the beginning, some women will be turned off by you having 5 children. Now,
Mhm.
granted, I do agree every woman shouldn't meet your kids, right? I just don't know how you can marry a woman and separate her truly from your children. So, what, you have a wedding and your kids are not invited to the wedding?
If me and her were to even get engaged to be married, of course she would meet my kids. But like I
Well,
said,
what
it
are you
still has
talking
to be
about?
a certain type of separation because you don't want a person that you don't. You know what? I've been married before, right? Like I said earlier, I didn't know this person fully 100%, and we have children, and things didn't work out. So imagine me marrying a person that's outside of their mother that things don't work out, and it could be worse. She could be
Explain to me,
angry,
okay, so
aggressive.
explain to me Christmas. How would you do Christmas Day if you got married to somebody else?
Well, being that I'm a part-time dad, Christmas Day probably be them with their mother, or them with me on Christmas Eve, and they with their mother on Christmas Day.
But you wouldn't want your wife to be with your kids.
Like I said, it's no. I'm okay. The answer is no. The answer is
Okay.
no. Unless
It,
she's like, I know in concrete who she is as a person, because people change every day.
well, I'm assuming if you married her, you would know who she is, right? Or no?
See,
No, like I said before, I was married before. I didn't know the person I married because you don't always know. People change with the wind.
so you just shouldn't be in a relationship, or you shouldn't plan to get married, because if you feel like you can't trust anyone enough to marry them, then maybe you shouldn't get married. Like, it's so crazy how, this is why I wanted to look more into the guys, because it's like y'all get on women so much. And he said the key words. He said modern women, twerking on, twerking, going out, helpmate, all that stuff. Like, he seems like one of the guys that could be into, red pill and things like that. But they judge women so hard. And I look at the women too. I look at the women too. But guys like this judge women so hard. And then, like, do you even hear yourself when you're talking? You can't even vet a woman properly. You're saying that you're gonna marry a woman that you can't even vet properly. Yes, it happens, but you need to learn from your mistakes. You need to learn the traits. You need to really take the time to get to know somebody before you want to hop into a relationship. And that's the problem when some of these men try to tell women what to do, and you have things that you need to work on for yourself. Let's continue.
Okay, so this is why you're saying you would like a woman with no kids because you have created the plan of how your new wife will be separated from your five children.
No, the reason why I said that because I there were females that had kids before by men, so it was like a weird tension or energy. Well, because I respect it as a father. If you date a man and he's around like, kid, I want to meet this man, and he's not always as
So,
cordial as nice as me.
so again, we got here because you want a woman with no kids.
Right.
And I said, well, that's unfair because you have kids. And you said, well, she wouldn't know your kids. So let me ask you this question again. You want a woman with no kids, and that's your preference, correct?
Correct.
And nor do you want to have any more kids.
If I get married again, yes, one more child, one more baby.
Okay, so if you got married to your wife, then you guys obviously that would be her child. So, but your current kids wouldn't meet your new baby because your wife can't really get to know the current kids just in case she builds a bond and things don't work out. That's the plan.
We
What?
could do that. Now that you put it in that perspective, we could do it in baby steps, just to be fair
I
to the
think
baby and their
I,
sibling.
I'm happy you said now that I'm putting it in that perspective because what I'm trying to challenge you to do is you have not thought about this plan in a realistic manner. Now, a
Mm-hmm.
ratchet girl who don't give a shit who you say you don't want, you can do that all day. She don't care about you or your kids. Really, she want to have a good time. She probably don't care about your kids. So she probably isn't gonna chastise you about having a relationship. That type of woman. But you say you don't want that type of woman. So I just don't know of any woman who is that you say you desire that will be okay with this plan of a separate family, knowing that she has to accept your children. It's just not a realistic thing for a wife now. I'm not talking about a girlfriend. But if you were to go down that road of marrying someone again, I don't think you have thought about realistic how you can separate your wife from your five kids.
No, he hasn't.
Like I said, Kendra, just baby steps. I thought about this many times. Like I
No,
said,
you,
baby
no,
steps.
you haven't.
Like I don't think that as a parent you want to have any because somebody could be good for you and not good for your kids. And that's the honest to God truth.
I mean, I just think you have to understand. I mean, are you an active dad?
Absolutely, I am.
Okay, so you're
Absolutely.
an active dad. So the reality is a woman has to accept your children because she has to accept you at times choosing your children in certain ways. But listen, if you don't get it, you don't get it. I'm not, we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going.
Right.
All right. So the preference is a woman with no kids. Did I ask you your three flaws already?
Yes.
Yes, you did, Kendra. You
I did.
did.
Okay. Why would a woman be lucky to be with you, Donna?
Because I'm honest. I'm a God-fearing man. I don't cheat. I don't even go out like that. Actually, I'm an introvert, so whenever you always know where I'm at all times.
Okay. You don't go out like that. All right. This is Donnell. Brooklyn, or do you want her to be in New York?
Of course, Kendra.
Okay.
Why? She
36,
ain't gonna meet your kids?
works in
No
fine
way.
arts, 5 kids, doesn't really want any more kids, married once, has 4 children by his ex-wife, and then 1 child from a previous situation. And what do you do in fine arts again?
Basically, we go to celebrities' houses. We do art galleries and make sure that art is wrapped properly in crates and bubble wrap and things like that, so that they don't
Okay.
get damaged. Because yeah, they're very expensive pieces of art.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, sweetheart. How could the woman reach out to you that's interested, honey?
All right, so let me know if he's a pookie or not. I honestly don't feel like he's a pookie. He just hasn't, he seems like the type of person that hasn't fully thought about his plan before he wanted to put all these um I wouldn't say demands on a woman. He's just looking for a certain type of woman. But that sounded crazy. But anyways, let me know what y'all think in the comments. And I will see you guys next time.